And welcome to the school committee meeting of Monday, January 8th. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next will be the acceptance of the minutes for the meeting of December 11th.
Motion to approve. And second.
All those in favor? Nothing under audience. We'll move to reports, monthly reports. For administrators, Dr. Harrison, Ms. Shipper, Ms. Shifley, Mrs. Sheehan. Guidance, Ms. Black. Nurse, Ms. Davis. And pupil personnel services with Dr. Miniglia.
4 motions to approve. And 4 seconds.
All those in favor? Under financial reports, we have the school department, Rockland High School student activities, Roger Middle School student activities, and the cafe.
4 motions to approve. And 4 seconds.
All those in favor? We received the monthly newsletters emailed to us for Eston Early Childhood Center, Phelps Elementary School, Rogers Middle School, and the Rockland High School. Any comments? No comments. We'll move on to old business with the Phelps Elementary School update.
I have one update that our next meeting is January 16th. And that can be viewed live on YouTube or recorded. And you can watch on YouTube as well.
And it's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yes.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Move on to completed fundraisers. Thanks for that update, Emily. I was not flipping. Okay. Classes of 2026 and 2027. We had the Hilliard's chocolate bar sales. They raised $1,500. Congratulations to all of those chocolate eaters. And that's all we have for that. We'll move on to new business with Mr. Piazza here for presenting an overnight field trip to New York City for the music department. Welcome.
Welcome, thank you. I prepared a statement with all the
Okay.
information, make it nice and easy for you. So,
Perfect.
good evening. I'm excited to present an outstanding educational opportunity for our music students, an overnight trip to New York City on April 26th and 27th. The trip includes travel on a luxury bus and overnight accommodations. The trip also has hired security so that when we're in the hotel, the kids are safe, and it will be chaperoned by 5 adults. This transformative experience includes attending Puccini's La Boheme at the Metropolitan Opera and the new Broadway musical Back to the Future, which is based on the movie. The trip features a Lincoln Center group tour, an interactive exploration of the Museum of Broadway, and an improvisation theater workshop led by active Broadway performers. The total cost per student, including trip insurance, is $669. Students will contribute $300. The remaining amount will be covered by funds already raised and ongoing initiatives, including the department raffle, the Rockland bands participating in the upcoming Abington's St. Patrick's Day Parade, student performances like the high school musical, and a shared fundraiser that we are planning with WRPS, Rockland's Got Talent. In conclusion, this well-rounded itinerary offers a holistic cultural and educational experience designed to foster creativity and provide practical insights from the musical theater industry. And I'm asking the committee for your consideration to approve this trip.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
I would like to say that this is a jam-packed agenda, which is, I think, is great. Have you guys ever done a trip like this in the past?
No, not since I've been here.
Oh, wow, it's great. I think it's well needed, and I think a wide variety of students hopefully attend. And then I did notice that there were 4 kids to a room. Are they?
That's correct.
Okay, and everyone knows that, the
Yes.
students, and they'll be sharing a bed, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then the rooms, all the same, like girls in one room, boys in the other, or mix and match? How's that gonna work?
We're
Working that out.
We're gonna ask the students who they would like to
Okay,
And and then we're going to make the decision.
Okay.
So they'll be given choices, but ultimately it will be our
Yeah.
task and making sure that the students are in
Okay.
accommodations that are suitable for them.
That's good.
And if there are any special accommodations, the students will be made aware that the special accommodations may incur an extra fee.
Okay, yeah, because I saw that you could like do a 2 people per room for a little bit more money, or are you locked into the 4 students per room? Yeah.
We are.
Okay.
If there are any circumstances, the next deposit that we have to put down, we will give the room arrangements, and if there are any situations that we have to remedy, we'll be able to let the tour operator know
Okay.
and fix that.
I was just curious how that's
Yeah,
gonna
I
pan
know.
out. And then you said 5 adults as chaperones, are those
That's correct.
staff or,
There are 3 staff
Okay.
and 2 parents.
oh, okay, all right.
And do you have a tour guide the whole time with you?
No,
Okay.
no.
And I'm assuming you.
Well, I'm sorry, Jill.
That's okay,
There'll
go
be a
ahead.
person with us taking us around to all
Around.
the places, but not someone that will be
Like
giving us a
roaming.
tour of New York.
Oh, okay.
But everything's been arranged, and there'll be somebody that takes us from point A to point B that will be on the bus with us. We're not going to be left alone.
Alone, okay.
And on the request here, it's 35 students. Is that the max of 35? Is that minimum? or-
That's 35 confirmed students.
That's 35
Yes.
confirmed. Okay.
Yeah.
I've gone to New York City 3 times on field trips with students, and I think it's fabulous that you're doing this, because it's an experience they have that they are going to love.
I agree. I think
Thank you.
they're at that
Yeah.
perfect age.
I didn't see my first opera until I was an adult in my early 30s. They're going to the Metropolitan
love it.
Opera to see La Boheme. It's incredible. I get goosebumps just thinking about it, even if they fall asleep during it. They've seen.
They started it, right?
Yeah. There isn't a better place to see it in this
Right.
country than the Metropolitan Opera, and we're going to afford that opportunity to our kids. It's
Right.
pretty amazing.
I think so, especially for this little town, right? To
Yeah.
think that that's our kids and that's the opportunity that they're getting. Do you think you'll have any students that won't be able to afford to go but want to go?
No.
Okay.
All of the students that decided that they couldn't go, it was more to do with parents who were uncomfortable sending their kids on an overnight trip
Right.
to New York. But any student that had any financial issues, we
You've
left
helped.
an open door to take care of that,
Okay,
so.
good. That's what I was going to make sure we were doing. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions?
No, I would just like to add that I think it's great. I know we have the travel club that is like a week-long trip, and it's out of the country, and not every family feels comfortable doing that, sending their kid out of country, but this is a different opportunity, a different, probably group of students possibly, and I think it's great, so thank you. I'd motion to approve the field trip to New York City for the music department.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, that's a vote.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Really
Very
appreciate it.
exciting
Enjoy.
Okay.
for our little
All right.
town.
Come back and tell us how it went.
Right.
And show some pictures. Thank you.
Okay, next we have the fundraisers for approval. We have boys basketball Snap Online fundraiser from December 8th to January 5th. We have Women's Empowerment Club selling raffle basket tickets, boys and girls, at the boys and girls basketball games on 1/16 and 1/19.
Motion to approve?
And 2 motions, 2 seconds.
Perfect. All those in favor? Great, thank you. And now we have the surplus equipment. This is Tim Wells, our technology coordinator, always sends us this surplus equipment list. And I first learned 6 years ago when I started at this table, if Tim has put it up on the list, it is dead. It's got nothing left to it. So I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
And a second.
All those in favor? Thank you. And a request for approval for the Rockland High School graduation date. Dr. Chronic.
Yeah, so Dr. Harrison was gonna come tonight, and I said, I think I can handle this one for you.
Right.
He's got enough nights out. Graduation, he's asking that it be May 31st, Friday, May 31st. He was concerned that it was a May date. I said it's been done many times before. And the one thing that he is asking for that is a little different is instead of starting at 7, he's asking to start at 6:30. And he's doing that, he said, I think you'll still get the sunset and the beautiful photos, but it gets people out just a little bit earlier. It is the trend in our region. They are moving to 6:30 starts, and as much as hearing the word change associated with graduation makes me shudder, I think it's a very good idea. So that is Dr. Harrison's recommendation, that we go to 6:30 on Friday, May 31st for graduation this year.
And I think in the last couple of years, we've proven to get in earlier because we miss the weather.
Yeah.
It seems to be the trend too.
Yeah.
That it seems to gonna be bad later, so we got in last year early. So I entertain a motion for that one.
Motion to approve the Rockland High School graduation on May 31st.
And a second.
All those in favor? That's a vote.
Excellent.
Change request for the district calendar for 2023-2024.
Thank you. So in meeting with preschool, and again, it's their first, year over in the Eston, and just checking in and how things are going. Just to go back to a theme that I had raised before, requests for early intervention, requests for testing, things like that are on the increase, and there's no place in the district where that's more evident than when the kids are younger, which makes a lot of sense given the time and place that we're living in right now. So what I'm asking for is April 3rd, which is a Wednesday, that we will not have preschool or pre-K students in school that day. The 4th is already a half day. That gives them a day and a half of testing time to do screenings for the little ones. So that's all this change is. It's just but it is a change to the schedule. They would communicate with the families that we'll not be having school that day, and then the half day the following day, but that does allow them to do all the early screenings and testing that they need to do to get preschool set for the following year.
Okay, so essentially, they don't come to school, but the kids that are getting screened would come
The
in
screening.
like an appointment time or
Right,
whatnot.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
And the preschool doesn't need to follow the 180 days?
Correct,
Because they're a preschool and it
Correct.
doesn't start till kindergarten?
exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
How many students or families are impacted? Do we have that number?
I'd say between 40 and 50, on that one day, and then they have a half day the following day.
Just thinking in terms of impact to parents. but,
Absolutely.
Obviously,
Yep.
2-ish, 3 months.
Yeah, Yeah.
Ahead of time notice.
yeah.
Letters.
We'll make sure they're well aware of it.
And typically, there isn't before and after daycare and any of that stuff. at
For the
this-
little
yeah.
ones?
Is there?
Yeah, they
Yes.
participate in before and after school, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we
I go to
may,
the daycare in the afternoon.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was just curious if.
yeah.
a-
No, if
a
someone's really
daycare
stuck, have them,
opportunity.
if a parent is really stuck, obviously, reach out and we'll do what we can with whatever we have to offer.
Okay. And this obviously would be communicated by a letter and all that stuff. for
Absolutely,
Jan.
yeah. Heather McDonald's doing a great job
Perfect.
overseeing that program.
Motion to approve change requests to the district calendar for 2023 to 2024.
And a second.
All those in favor? That's a vote. Now I'll go on to capital planning. Jane?
Yes, hi, Steve. There are 8 items. This is our yearly exercise where we need to submit by a certain date to meet charter requirements to Town Hall, our list of anticipated requests for free cash in capital improvements. So the 8 items that you see before you on this list for the school department, towards the bottom of the first section, total approximately $2 million, whereas the entire general fund request from the other departments is total 7.3. And these have been informally given to Mr. Lapp at Town Hall so he could begin this spreadsheet, but he's aware school committee has not had an opportunity to vote until this evening. So if you wanted to make any adjustments to it, but it is Chromebooks for $140,000. We used to, that dollar figure was 100, and several 5 years ago. When we wanted to go to the one-on-one program, we used emergency relief funds. It was one of the first expenditures we were able to make with emergency relief funding. And so now we've gone to one-on-one. Now our replacement costs are more than $100,000 because we have more Chromebooks for each year that we need to replace. So that's the increase in that. Security camera replacements, it's just an end-of-life replacement going forward. Repaving the Eston School driveway is a new request. It's in dire need. We think it would
Yeah,
benefit the
right.
teachers, the staff, the kiddos, and the community, as the back of Eston School is used for the youth soccer program as well. And we're working, and this is in conjunction with the grant from the Eston School, the HVAC and electrical improvements to support HVAC approval. We also have a grant for $461,000 that was spoken for on there, but it is hot in that school. And we're trying to provide the kiddos and the staff some relief.
Can I jump in on that just for
Absolutely.
one second, just so that the committee and the community is sort of aware, because if we're talking about making improvements to the Eston, or we're talking about the cost of any kind of structural improvement, if I lived in this town, I'd be like, well, we just built this, we just built that, how can we? The Eston was built in 1968. The systems, the HVAC system that is in the Eston is as old as I am, literally. And so those systems are just outdated. And we have this grant, $500,000 to use to do this work, but we also have an electrical problem. We need to upgrade the electrical system in the building before we could put in splits to cool the building even more. So what we're looking at is really a 2 or 3 stage process where we fix the guts of the HVAC system, we fix the electrical, and then we are
Get the
able to look at splits or other things that we may need in that building. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make it more comfortable for the students and for the staff, but also for the community to understand these buildings are yours. This infrastructure you own, and we're trying to maintain these buildings. And the thing that I think Rockland should really celebrate is this, what we're talking about with Eston may cost $1 million, may cost $2 million, but when we repave the Eston and we fix this HVAC, and we're looking at some roof needs, but they're not huge dollar amounts, the schools in this town are set for 50 years. There aren't very many communities that can say that. So I hope that the town understands that the town is proud of that our schools are in very, very good condition and will be, knock on wood, for the next 50 years. So this money that we're very slowly and carefully investing in the Eston is really, we're thinking long-term, and we really want the town to be set infrastructure-wise for the next 50 years, and that's the goal. So, sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you. And we also invested a great deal of our own money in our own operating budget towards upgrades to the Eston
Yeah.
School over the course of the last year as well. And the town has also supported us in those efforts.
Absolutely.
But this is an ongoing project. The last 4 are the vestibule upgrade to the middle school. We're working on that now. We have funding in place through ARPA, and we're trying to see if we can consolidate both the middle school and the high school project and perhaps get a little better of a price. We may need, but this is going under the assumption that we can't, and that we have to ask for more than has already been appropriated. We spent about $220 at the Eston School. We've gone out to, for pricing at the high school, came in at a similar figure, but the middle school project is smaller, doesn't involve as much construction as the other 2, so that came in a little bit lower. So we're having a conversation with accounting, and that request may come down.
We're trying to do both at the same time to save money,
Right.
and also to get it done sooner.
Right. High school and middle school lighting replacement, exactly what it sounds like. End of life, and it's important for us to go forward right now because we have a relationship with the vendor who did the original install, and we're right up at the end of the warranty, et cetera, and it makes a lot of sense for us to go forward with this and not turn it into a 4-year phase project as it was originally thought of. We thought we'd do $20,000 a year, but we're gonna have to change vendors halfway through if we do it that way. And we'd rather stick with one vendor to go through. And
The track.
the track is to get a design and a preliminary design and cost estimate for for replacement of our existing track, which is very exciting. One of the largest growing programs, extracurricular programs
Absolutely.
at the school.
Do we have any previous estimates or designs? Because I feel like Rockland Rec, or I feel like the track has been talked about and put up
Bicentennial's
there.
been talked about for a long time.
So I just wasn't sure if we had something from 2 years ago, or, I mean, yeah.
Nothing
this-
since I've been
Nothing,
here that
nothing
I'm
that I
aware
know
of.
of that's
Okay.
ever been studied. I don't think it's
Okay.
ever been really done in earnest,
Okay.
looking at the costs for that.
I just would like to say one thing about the track is that it's just not the school, it's the people in the town
Yes.
also that use that. When I'm walking it, there is always somebody else walking it.
Right.
That would be so nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we tried it for Phelps, but we couldn't get it to include the track because of the road in the middle. They said that it didn't qualify, so we tried.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then finally, the purchase, or this, the final, it should say purchase lease, student transportation vans. Again, this is an increase. Generally, we get $75,000. Three of our 11 vehicles, the leases have expired because of supply and demand. There have been no sped vans available to lease. So we're on a list to get, to receive 3. However, the cost is significantly higher than they were before to lease those vans. And in addition, I'm looking at the potential of purchasing some Sienna vans and retrofitting them with what are called 7D packages, and hiring 2 additional drivers. Potentially, our sped costs, as we all know, our transportation costs, we projected 57,000. We budgeted 57, we're at like $236,000 now. So,
So
time
with,
to look at some different
yeah.
options.
with the transportation vans, I've seen like on the road, them not just being vans, like RAV4s or like middle of the road.
Right, and it's one of the
SUVs.
things that Noel is doing a really good job on, is because a lot of people are just going out, getting their 7D license and putting a sticker on their car, and
Yeah.
and then it says, you know, I'm a sped driver.
Yeah.
We're just not putting our kiddos in anyone who says that.
Okay.
You
It
know,
needs to be
she's making sure that
safe.
she's getting, that they have a track record, that they have insurance, that they have references. And some of them may be very good-willed and may be very, very safe, but you know, they're here on Tuesday.
I'm saying more of like
not
from
there
the
on Thursday.
buying side, like
Oh,
instead
so-
of just buying a van, can you buy a different vehicle?
Yes, and that's what I want to do, is I want to buy.
Like a smaller, better on gas, not handicapped
We really
van,
need
just
them to be handicapped.
They need to.
every single van?
Most, because if you're on it, you're on it for a reason. You're on it for, and generally, most of the kiddos who are on the sped vans need some sort of physical accommodation. And one of the things they need in particular are harnesses, are harness belts.
Yeah.
So the 7D package is really your safest, your safest bet. If they can get on if they can get, and we've done a very good job, and Linda Ricciarelli, you know, who left us last year, had done a very good job as well, making sure that we have the least restrictive environment for each sped kiddo, right? And so if they can be on the yellow bus, they can be on they can be on the big bus. But if they can't, they can't. And there's a reason why, and most of the reasons, most of the things that we use to accommodate them come with the 7D package.
And if we're gonna invest in one, we might as well make sure it has everything.
Right, we
for the
do
most
have, we do
versatility.
have the white activity van.
Right.
Yeah.
That we, no, but we do, we use
Yeah.
that every day. That van takes our alternative program kiddos, and sale program, you know, kiddos to places, and we're gonna be using it to transport some of our interns to Social Hospital. So we
That's
do, you know, we
Yeah.
do use that, as well as using it for the golf team and the smaller athletic, the smaller athletic events. But we can't tie that to the sped program, because we need that for the other, activities that it goes on during the day. But you can get different 7Ds with, we have one vehicle, and I don't want to misspeak for Noel, but we do have one sped vehicle that doesn't have the last bench, and if we had the last bench, we could fit more on. Okay, so we are trying to make sure we have the three
rows, yeah.
tiers for the 7D, but most of the equipment that comes, it's safer for the driver and safer for the kiddos if we have the options in it. And that would be all. It totals approximately $2 million. Some of these items will go up and some of them will go down as additional information comes in through the bidding process. But you can't go out to bid until you
get
have funding
approval.
until you have the funding secured. So,
Question on the repaving. Quick scan, there's a couple other
Yeah.
repaving efforts, and we're working with Mr. Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Highway
Yes.
Department and stuff. I
Yes.
think we were there when he was quoting the price of,
And this is a little bit
Asphalt.
higher than that because fuel prices are going up July 1st, and we won't be able to do the project before July 1st.
because of in-school.
No, well, yes, A,
Town
but we
budget,
could do it
right.
sometimes over the weekend, no, just because of the procurement process. We need to go to town meeting won't be until May 15th, then you have to wait the 2 weeks, now you're at the beginning of June, then you have to go out to bid, and it comes back in, you're in July. It's
We
the
don't wanna-
downfall of a
Hopefully it's
May
done
town
before
meeting.
September.
Yeah, we don't want to put this off because the estimates for paving, the materials are supposed to skyrocket.
Right.
So I'm really hoping that this gets done in the coming year.
And we already kicked it down the curb.
We've kicked it down the road quite a
Right.
bit, yeah.
The
And
last
it's
2 years,
needed.
we've taken it
It's-
off the
it's
plan
needed.
altogether.
It's needed, yeah.
Right.
Definitely needed.
It's needed. It would really wrap up that property nicely. Also, I think it would really make the
Yeah.
property pop a little
I
more.
agree.
in the back.
I also think that, and we've said this before, the Eston was the new school, and now it's the old school. And so now it needs the updating that the other two schools constantly needed before. So it's finally Eston's turn to get the attention.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead.
Nope, I was gonna, do we need approvals?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just
but I
have one
have
more
to
question.
read it. Go ahead.
Regarding the Chromebooks, how often will they need to be replaced for?
3 to 4 year life expectancy, and Tim gets every,
Yeah.
and Lisa, and they get every single thing out of every single one that they can.
So this will be a reoccurring
This is gonna be
line
yearly,
item?
yes, because the grant funding is all gone for it.
But the town has historically given us that 100,000 for technology. That's what this is. We're just asking to up it now to 140.
440.
Yeah, because it's just, everything is more expensive,
Expensive,
and we
yeah.
have more Chromebooks in play.
And they have always given us the 100,000. We've been lucky that way, so.
Yeah. But we have a rotating, updating
Yeah.
process in place.
It's not replacing all 700 and something, it's
Right.
No,
only
we have a
200 a
rota-
year,
yes.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, rotating schedule.
Any other thoughts, questions? Okay. I will entertain a motion to vote to submit the school capital request as presented and may be amended as additional info becomes available.
Motion to approve?
And a second.
All those in favor? And that's a vote. And now we'll go on to Dr. Cron's superintendent report.
Thank you. I have a few brief things to discuss. First, our targeted district review, which we've been talking about. We're looking forward to welcoming folks from the Department of Education and AIR, the research group that they've employed to do this work, the week of February 26th. It's the week right after vacation. And we're scheduling the interviews and the focus groups. And we are busy uploading all of the 1,000 points of light that we needed to update so that they can review the data before they come. But we're busy doing that work. So I just wanted to put that back on everybody's radar that that's happening after February vacation. Also want to share, we have the new Bridges program this year at the high school, which is going very, very well. Just recently looked at some attendance data, and I won't get too far into it today, but I'll just say that the students who are attending the Bridges program, their attendance is substantially better than it was a year ago today. So while attendance still remains an issue for many of the students that are in the Bridges program, it is just light years away from what it was a year ago, so I think it's working in large part. But we did bring in the Walker School, an organization, to do some, just a review and observation of the program, and they've been in twice to observe and to look at the schedules and to do some work with the staff, and so I just thought that was kind of neat, and I wanted to share that with you, that we're bringing in some outside eyes to see how that's going, and it will continue to update you on the Bridges program. It is something that we've invested quite a bit of money and space in, and again, just wanted to keep you updated. And I'm very excited to announce that the DARE program is making a return to the middle school, starting next week. Grade 5 will begin with Officer Ryan Thoreau, who has been working with Principal Shipper to put this together. So we're looking forward to the DARE program coming back and working with the students. And finally, we have a high school internships that are beginning at the start of the next term. And it's great. Some of our 11th and 12th graders that are involved in our sale program are doing internships at Rockland Athletics, Electro Switch, and South Shore Hospital. So that's exciting. I just wanted to share that with you, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Dr. Cron.
Yep.
Any questions? No? Okay. We'll move on to our public service announcements, and I will go with Hope tonight so that I don't forget her.
The only thing I have to mention is that the high school student council will be hosting the winter formal dance again this year, so this will be the second year. It went pretty well last year, but we're hoping to get attendance up just a bit, but that'll be in early February with a date soon to come.
All right. That's it? You said just that? Okay. We'll go to the left. Belinda, welcome back.
Thank you. I don't have anything at this moment.
Okay. Jamie?
I originally had nothing, but just wanted to say happy 2024. Good luck to, or continued luck to all the winter sports teams and those about to go through midterms, and keep going, as I think term 2 will be ending soon for the high school and middle school.
All right. Emily?
I have nothing to add tonight.
All right. I had a realization this year. I have a senior at the VOTEC and a sophomore here at Rockland, and it's 2024, and you have all those shirts their whole life, 2024, 2026, and it is 2024, and he's graduating this year, and I was like, oh, it's here. They're this high, and they have those shirts, so I wanted to say, I'm with you, all the parents that are seniors and have those kids that are going to graduate, and that's the realization that they're going to leave you. So, and head off to other horizons, so that's all I had. Happy New Year.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor? Fine. Have a good night.
Thank you.